This opponent makes no easy prey.
You looking for a fight?
Count on me to keep you safe. You noisy separate that we are both alone.
All fell from the beat as it breathed. I can't imagine we're in need of a campsite just now.
'Tis well to be prepared, but over-preparation will serve us not.
No mercy.
Genius. My own master must hear of this tactic.
Unbelievable. If your pack grows over full, simply ask me to sell off your surplus items. I'll have the gold for you in a trice.
You're like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
Well met. Looking to make a purchase? Hope to see you again.
I've heard a blacksmith of singular skill resides in Bakhbatal. Perhaps he could...
I must confess, naught rattles me quite so much as the unexpected snuffing of my lantern light.
I dare say that's part and parcel of the adventurous trade.
I'm pushing what's needed here.
Oh, look! There are rare materials yonder, just waiting to be harvested.
Well spotted. Shall we see what we can find?
I've got hold of the enemy.
Look out for it! We're under attack!
Hard enough. Right on.
Victory is at hand. Let us finish.
and it's really just like a symphony. It's remarkable how efficient they can be. One thing that stood out last night was I was watching all those airdrops throughout the night, and there was 10 aircraft fighting one section of the fire. I don't think I've seen that throughout the other stages of them fighting this Palisades fire. I mean, there was a day or so, a half a day, day and a half, where the winds were so extreme that they couldn't use those assets. But then on the days where they could, we would see a few in this area, a few over here. But then last night we had just an assembly line of all those helicopters that were flying along Mandeville Canyon, and we were able to prevent it from pouring into those homes overnight. It was quite a sight to see. I hope we
talk about the FOSS check on the homes, because we have a lot of viewers that are tuning in to see if they can spot their house. Sadly, one homeowner had to likely watch their house burn down on live television. But are you confident in your experience covering these fires that these homes that are covered with the pink FOSS check on their roofs right now, are they likely to be spared if the flames do act up again. I can tell you that I have a cabin in Running Springs, and when the line fire hit in September, the flames came right up basically to the street below my house, and because there was the Phos-Chek line, the cabin was saved. So I'm just wanting to give some comfort, even though it's going to be a mess for them to clean up, just knowing that
start to spread. And then what we're dealing with, unfortunately, later on this afternoon and through the night and into tomorrow morning, are the winds getting stronger. And what really concerns me is now the possibility of ember spread. That's really the dangerous part. We're not seeing as much of that right now because the direction is beginning to change to offshore, so the winds are not strong. But later on this afternoon, some of these flames will begin to get a little bit stronger. The air becomes drier as the red flag warning returns once again, and it's the dry air that's fueling all these fires here in Southern California. And then before we go on, that ember spray, that ember cast, as Courtney also alluded to, is going to fan out. And you could get one of those embers flying 1, 2, and we've heard situations in the entire Pacific Palisades where some of these embers have made their way more than 5 miles away from the line of fire. And some of these embers can get caught up in the attic, in the awning, somewhere in a tree, a palm tree, and they can sit there for 3, 4, sometimes 10 hours. And then finally, a gust of wind catches up to some of these embers and they explode and they catch fire.
when I was out on PCH yesterday, I was with someone as they checked out their home that is completely gone. Everything is still on fire. There were embers the size of watermelons on the beach that were flaming.
Right.
There's just smoke everywhere. So there's big gusts. But the good news about the winds that's coming Monday through Wednesday and even tonight, it won't be as strong, right, as 70-mile-per-hour winds, which was really what prohibited fire.
In nature, and that is very dangerous, and we're seeing that occurring, and we're going to see more of it, unfortunately, through the night into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday. Here's a look at the winds for you right now. You can see out to the San Fernando Valley near the Van Nuys area, the fire lines. This is what is concerning. We're starting to see the winds beginning to increase. Look at Van Nuys, 22-mile-per-hour sustained wind speed. And of course, we're looking at the high wind warning. But right now, as you can see, the high wind warning until we get to 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, a little bit more isolated to these areas near the Eaton fire, just above Altadena, Sierra Madre, Duarte, Glendora. Then as you travel to the west, you make your way near the Santa Clarita Valley, you get a little bit of a break in the action, and then you head out towards the Santa Susana Pass, and that's where the winds pick up again. And then we're looking at the western side of the Santa Monica Mountains, making our way through the Malibu area, all the way out towards Ventura County. So these are the areas that will continue to see gusts anywhere between 30, 35, 45, and 50 miles per hour. And this is really alarming. The relative humidity values, they continue to crash. Van Nuys, 12%. So what that means is we're getting closer and closer to relative humidity values that are 5, 6, 7%. There's just no moisture. That's extremely dangerous. And this is extreme fire weather that we're dealing with right now for the time being until we get into tomorrow evening. We're looking at the areas, the inland areas throughout Los Angeles, Ventura County. You can see those shaded in yellow, orangish on the left-hand side of your screen. That's a fire weather watch through the night and into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Red flag out towards Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange County, the inland areas. These are the
You were watching from the makeup room, and it's even the human side of this, and for the viewers who may be watching who own this home. How heartbreaking.
I just think that probably the homeowner was watching. I don't know if it was our channel, but I'm sure all the channels were on this home, because when people are evacuated, they especially want to keep up with the news. And I feel our compassion goes out to everyone who are seeing this video. Now we're replaying it. I can't imagine the emotion that must be to just witness that.
And one of the problems is that the canyon walls are so steep that you can't get any of the hand crews in there in most cases. So they have to rely on these airdrops to come in. And we launched the airdrop on this particular site. It didn't do much. So I think they're just going to concentrate on getting the brush up and making sure they can get a line in between the homes and the canyon wall.
Saving lives for properties that can chop it up into resources, and how, kind of go back to what you were saying, the way in which the topography of this area and the fire, we don't know. The wind will be going east and then suddenly it will be going west. That was again from earlier, one of the drops you were referring to.
And it smothers the house. And then as soon as the smoke clears, you can see that it didn't do any good.
It looks like it is effective, but it's not.
It turns to steam.
Yeah, it does.
Also, these crews have been making these huge, like, bulldozing fire lines, cutting it, but that does nothing to ember cast fire.
Well, it does help. It helps tremendously, especially up in Mulholland. That is a long time fire break, if you will. And there are little areas all through the Santa Monica Mountains where
people do not try to get back into that area right now.
All that traffic just clogs the streets. Fire trucks can't move to where they have to go as quickly as they would like. And it just causes problems. I know a lot of people are trying to take pictures and we've heard about drones still flying even after they get the plane. So people are just trying to get what they can get and get out, but it's causing big problems.
Okay, we're continuing to look at this footage from earlier. We do have Omar Lewis, who we want to get back to. He is out there near this location where this happened, Mandeville. Live at Mandeville Canyon, I should say. So what do you see now? That was very dramatic footage from earlier today when the house was reduced to ash. And right now, what is the temperature out there?
Well, right now things have calmed down for the moment. Firefighters really getting a handle on the flames from our vantage point where we're located, which the home that you all were just speaking about, located on Mary Mac and Mandeville Canyon Road, is just on the other side of this white smoke that you see. But these firefighters on the ground right here, they are really making some active progress in trying to stop these flames, along with the retardant that you're looking at from a drop that just happened about 30 minutes ago. And so what we can tell you is that these firefighters have chainsaws in their hands. They are actively cutting back this brush, trying to make progress and stop these flames from right here. And so there are several homes located right here in this canyon, along these ridges at the bottom of the canyon as well. And so that is really the concern here, is actively trying to get inside of this area. You know, it took a little bit for firefighters to try to coordinate getting inside of this brush, trying to make progress and stop these flames from right here. And so there are several homes located right here in this canyon, along these ridges at the bottom of the canyon as well. And so that is really the concern here, is actively trying to get inside of this area. You know, it took a little bit for firefighters to try to coordinate getting inside of the canyon because it is such steep terrain, but they figured it out. They got inside here with their drills and chainsaws, trying to cut back this brush. And they seem to be making some progress here in this area, which is the good news, as they try to protect those homes located just at the bottom of this hillside here on Mandeville Canyon Road. And so that is the main concern right now in this area where we're located, is trying to stop those flames from reaching that point. Earlier, we were talking about the smoke as well. The white smoke is a good sign that the active flames are out, but that darker smoke that you see there in the distance, that is the more menacing fire that is happening right now as well. So we see flames shooting up on that hillside also every now and then, but here, closest to us, they are making some good progress as far as stopping these flames from reaching Mandeville Canyon Road. These houses are located all up and down here. Where we're located is just on West Graves Road in Cordelia. We can pan the camera and show you that vantage point as well. And these firefighters have not let up here either, trying to protect these homes just that back up to this area here. These firefighters have been on this back deck here for hours now with water hose.
Shot right there. The County Supervisor Captain Barger will be holding this press conference with county officials at 2 o'clock, so in just 15 minutes. So we're on standby to bring that to you as well from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
If we've got another picture of the fire area, let's go back to that while they set up in Pasadena. Aaron Myers is in the Brentwood area. Aaron, are you there? What can you tell us? Bring us up to date.
Okay, she will be coming to her momentarily. Of course, these our crew members have had to be racing all over the place because it's so erratic where the flames are popping up. And as we saw, Omar earlier today was very active behind him, but our last live shot with him, he had calmed down a little. And then Erin's shot the last time we chatted with her, things were really getting going behind her.
Yeah,
okay,
and there
she's ready now, so let's go see
there
the
is a
situation
huge
there.
plume of dark smoke behind you, Erin.
Yep,
It's just over your shoulder.
We've been out here for several hours, all morning long into the afternoon, and you can see a lot of that smoke here. We've been seeing so many water drops. We've seen them coming into the aircraft, dropping fire retardant. We also have food out here. Behind us, and I kind of want to walk you through what we saw when we got here. When we first got here is what we've seen in other areas on Mandible Canyon Road, in those areas where you know that one home burned down. But of course, they are ready if anything changes. They are out here making sure they can do that structured defense.
Yeah, it seems like an enormous amount of heavy brush just over your other shoulder there, Erin. It seems like there's a lot for that fire to chew through before they get a handle on it.
Yes, a lot of brush here, and that's one of the firefighters told us about 50 years they think since it's burned in this area, somewhere around that, possibly 45, 50. So there's a lot to burn, a lot to start here. From the ground, one of the choppers coming over, a couple of them. Lots of flames coming through. More than I've seen before on any of the fires I've covered.
All right, Erin, thank you so much. We'll check back with you in a minute. Right now we want to go to Omar Lewis. I understand he has a public information officer getting an update for us. Hi there.
Hey, Courtney and Rick. Exactly. We have Captain Clinton Smith Jr. with CAL FIRE. Thanks for joining us again. We see your crews out here on the ground. Tell us what they're up to, and there's more of them out here as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our crews down here, that's both hand crews and engine crews that are down there doing what we call cutting line and putting in a hose lay, a wet line. So they're not only bringing in hose with water to extinguish the hot spots, but they're using their hand tools to scrape away all of the unburned vegetation down to bare minimum soil hand line. As you can see, we have them working and they're leapfrogging each other. So they're tying into the retardant line that's out there that you can see wasn't out there on the earlier shot I was with you. We had our aircraft, it's all working in conjunction.
All right, Erin, thank you so much. We'll check back with you in a minute. Right now we want to go to Omar Lewis. I understand he has a public information officer getting an update for us. Hi there.
Hey, Courtney and Rick. Exactly. We have Captain Clinton Smith Jr. with CAL FIRE. Thanks for joining us again. We see your crews out here on the ground. Tell us what they're up to, and there's more of them out here as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our crews down here, that's both hand crews and engine crews that are down there doing what we call cutting line and putting in a hose lay, a wet line. So they're not only bringing in hose with water to extinguish the hot spots, but they're using their hand tools to scrape away all of the unburned vegetation down to bare minimum soil hand line. As you can see, we have them working and they're leapfrogging each other. So they're tying into the retardant line that's out there that you can see wasn't out there on the earlier shot I was with you. We had our aircraft, it's all working in conjunction with each other. So when our air tankers are in to drop the pink fire retardant to help slow that down, then our hand crews can get in there and start cutting into that, and they'll actually tie into that line and then slowly progress it around. So when those air tankers aren't here, we have the helicopters in, and that entire time that the air tankers and helicopters are there, we have our ground pounders down there cutting line and putting in a hose lay. Very hard, grueling, dirty work that they're doing down there, but it's an essential part of the process.
Absolutely. And you know, right now the concern are these homes along Mandeville Canyon Road. Tell us about that as well. I'm going to hop in front of the camera and move to this side here. Tell us about those homes that are down there that are actively being threatened, and obviously the reason why your firefighters are right there on that line there trying to protect